Howdy doody, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Pod from the Bunker. Here we are in the bunker. As you can see, I'm just going to fix this cam a little bit. Thank you for joining us on Twitch. We do this live on Twitch on Monday nights. If you'd like to join us and you're watching this rerun on YouTube, it's twitch.tv/Kev from the Bunker. All of my socials are popping up below me there. And if you are over on YouTube watching this, please leave a comment for our guest today. Ask any questions that I might not have got to. And like the video. Maybe share it with a friend that you think might enjoy it as well. And yeah, hit that sub button, of course. So all of the above, you know, the standard YouTube things. Today we have a Twitch streamer or a Twitch... I know he's a streamer, but how do I say this? He has a venue, a Twitch digital venue, I would say, is the best way to put it. And similar to what I always dreamed of doing here in the bunker. And I resonate really strongly with Harvey, Dave Harvey from Harvey's House. Harvey's House, you guys may or may not know the channel, but it's twitch.tv/Harvey's House. And in the chat right now, we have a link tree to all of Dave Harvey's stuff. Dave has a guest with him today, one of his bandmates. They're going to perform a couple original songs for us. We're going to talk about his venue and the whole story behind everything there. So I guess without further ado, all my friends, lovers, and all of you others, let's bring in Dave Harvey and Nat from, well, let's find out their band name from them, and we'll go from there.
Recognized for my part of Harvey's House.
Yeah, he's also
my thing.
He's also the sound engineer on the show.
That's true. I apologize. That you did mention that to me
from the very beginning.
Yeah, no. And
Yeah.
bandmate and sound engineer at the venue. So my apologies. I didn't mean to leave you out there, Nat. But thanks for joining us today, guys.
It's his name.
It is okay. So here we go. That's how we do it. So it's Harvey's. So what's the band name? Because I what's the band name you guys played in?
So we're in two bands together. The one band that we're actually going to play songs from both bands, but Primitives, Nat just joined on bass in the last year, right? Or 2 years, something like that.
2 years.
During the pandemic. And then we also have another band where Nat plays guitar. I play guitar and sing as well in that band. It's called Harvey and the Hendersons.
Oh, beautiful name. That's fun.
See, he likes it. Nat hates the name.
Do you guys all have hair and beards like that?
Yeah.
Well, then it works perfect. Everyone who doesn't know Harry and the Hendersons, a great classic movie. I'm very fond of that movie.
See?
Nat looks really upset about this whole situation right now.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
Okay, so let me get into it, guys. Why do you guys play music?
So myself, I just really like playing and singing. Even if it's not for anyone, you know, it just feels good, and it's a nice way to get your emotions out. And you know, writing a song, I mean, there's no other feeling, you know, than writing a song and getting to play it for people. I have found that probably the number one thing, like the best feeling, is when people sing your song back to you. You know, so that's probably why I do it. Maybe it's selfish, but that's it.
No, it's a great. How about yourself, Nat?
I was raised by parents who indoctrinated me into their music and took me to concerts, and a lot of bands were a part of my life since I was very little, and there's nothing else I was more passionate about, so it just made sense to throw myself fully into it. And then once you perform, it's hard not to want to do that again. That's a selfish thing. It is invigorating to perform what you love in front of an audience.
I call it the bug. How long have you guys been playing together?
Together?
I don't know. What do you think?
Like, it's got to be at least 5 years, right?
Yeah, at least 5 or 6 years, I'd say.
Oh, right on.
Our respective original bands started up in Philly around the same time, though, so we've been sharing stages for a long time.
Okay, so you just
probably
you knew
close
each other,
to 10 years.
Right? You knew each other through the community, and then you kind of have a project going, you know, after years of knowing each other through the community in your area. And
correct, yeah.
And how did Harvey's House get started? Was that a vision, a goal, or did it just come about, or what was that whole story about?
So the simple way to explain it is because of the pandemic we started doing it. But My roommate at the time, he had a computer and he knew how to stream, and Nat had his mixer here and he knew how to use the mixer, and I wanted to have my band Primitives play and be able to play a show. So and I was only working like a couple days a week at the time, so I had all this extra time. So we moved all the furniture out of my living room, which, by the way, this is my living room. We moved all the furniture out of my living room and put down a carpet. We knew nothing about lights or cameras. I had a DSLR camera and a capture card.
No lights.
Yeah, no lights. The first show is very dark. And we plugged in from the
outputs of the mixer into a headphone input on the computer.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that was our very first stream. And then after that, we started to learn more about it and get better at it, get more lights so that you can actually see people's faces. And our sound equipment's gotten better. Yeah, the interface. Getting the Scarlett was a big upgrade. Pretty cheap, too. But from there, we wanted to have our friends' bands play, and we only had, 2 or 3 bands that would actually play here at the house, and we wanted to do this every single week. So from there, me and Nat started learning 10 cover songs and just playing them. So we did that every single week for, at least 10 weeks straight before we had somebody else on the show.
It was a long time.
Because it was during the pandemic, people didn't want to come over my house.
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, it was a weird time. It was a very weird time.
Yeah, and at that time, Nat was also the musical director because he had to teach me how to play the songs.
Anytime we had any other musicians on, which was not often, which is why I am end friends in the credits.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we should have had your name on here, Nat. I'm sorry I didn't get that ahead of time. You're not an end friend. You're an integral part of the team over there, as I can understand it.
It's true. He's a man behind the curtain.
He panics when I can't be here.
Yeah, I could tell that the show must go on, but it needs you there generally to go on. Right on. Okay, so so you started having bands over there. You did it once a week, and then so how many shows do you think you've had with other bands coming there now since the first time you had your first guest there?
I'm not actually sure. Probably somewhere in the episode around like the 30s or 40s is when we stopped doing the show all the time, right?
Well, the second episode was a guest, right?
Yeah.
It was you, and then it was a guest, or was it Primitives, and then it was a guest, and then it was you,
I
think? Or was that us doing the Pink Floyd stuff? Either way.
Yeah.
It was sporadically we would have other people on while we were doing the Harvey and Friends thing.
Right.
And then at some point, it started to really shift the other direction, and bands started to come out of the woodwork.
I feel like at this point, we probably at least had like 30 in a row without me or you playing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
this will actually be the first time in a long time that me and Nat play on a stream.
Oh, wow. Yeah, cool. Right on. Well, I'm glad to have you. Yeah. So, and all of these bands, are they all from the scene that you guys come from in the same city and area or surrounding area? Or do you get bands that are touring through that come through your place as well?
So we've gotten like a couple offers, but haven't really had them work out. But we pretty much New Jersey, Philadelphia. We've had a band from Delaware come play, but it's basically from our scene for the most part.
Dave and I have both been playing in this area for a very long time, so we've got a fair amount. But we don't not want touring bands to come on.
Of course.
We're all about that. It's just
well,
opportunity
the reason I asked that is because if anyone's out there, we do have a link tree for Harvey's house. It's in the chat in Twitch right now, but it's also going to be in the description of this YouTube video. So if there's any other independent bands out there watching, I implore them to reach out, and hopefully you guys can work something out, because I really love what you're doing over there with this. I'm trying to do similar things here in the bunker. It's tough. I can understand what you guys go through. It is a grind, and I just want to say thanks from all the other musicians out there for making a digital venue for people to play over the last 2 years and more. Thank you guys.
Thank you. It's very nice of you to say.
No, I appreciate it, and So you guys play some pretty rock and roll music. That's what you guys play.
Yes, sir.
It's rock and roll to the core. That's what it is. My question to you is, do you think there will ever be another legendary rock star in the history of the world?
I think there will be, mostly because everything is cyclical. Everything comes back. It might be different, it might not be exactly. It won't be maybe not the guitar hero.
I think it depends on how you define legendary.
Well, I
'Cause
define
it's
legendary
the
as
age of information.
Yeah, I mean, like, ultimately we're playing. Oops, did I lose you guys? Oh, just my headphones. Sorry,
I can hear
no,
you.
No, we're good. My headphones popped out. Ultimately, what I'm talking about is like Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, legendary. 45 years later, they're still being played every day on the radio.
I think we still have that at least a little bit in bands like Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age and Muse, and these bands all have frontmen that are larger than life to, at the very least, a massive fan base around the world. So I don't think that's necessarily going anywhere.
Okay.
As far as like back in the old days, there's little mystery surrounding anything, so it's not like we'll have the stuff we have on Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page and stuff like that.
Of course. Yeah, I would agree with that. But good point. There are some bands out there who are making great music that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years. I have a hard time with it because I know that a lot of the stats are saying that 70+% of the music that is being listened to on Spotify and other streaming platforms is what they classify as old music or classic music, which is great. It's great that the teenagers love the Beatles again and stuff, but I mean, it'd be cool if the Beatles gave up a couple spins to, the Primitives or Kev Foster,
Yeah, it would be nice.
It's just, so what do you guys think about that? How do you become a rock star, a legendary rock star in 2022 moving forward then?
Sell out.
Yeah,
My bad.
Bieber it. I mean,
yeah.
There's an iconic, I guess, like, to be honest with you, he's more Elvis-y or like, Michael Jackson-y, I guess, but Justin Bieber will probably be played in a long time from now. He's a pop star, it's a little different. Rihanna will be, our Etta James, and, I guess those will happen in pop, but I just don't see it's hard for me to find in rock and roll, so that's why I ask these questions. What is it going to take to be a rock star?
That with pop stars.
Yeah?
Well, it's music comes and goes. But for all we know, Justin Bieber might be completely forgotten in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Rihanna might be massive, a god of music or something like that.
Yeah.
You never really know. The stuff our parents listen to, half that shit is completely gone now.
Right.
It's forgotten from the cultural memory.
Right.
And some of it was massive. The Beatles weren't competing with the Who or the Stones in the United States. They were competing with Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, there's like a Brit scene there that no one even knows anyone else but the Beatles that came out of there, right?
Right. So a lot of stuff gets forgotten, and some of the weird stuff gets remembered forever.
Right. So how is it that you think, like, I guess other than sell out, is there any sort of like idea on what you think it would take to become a legendary rock star? I know it's a weird question, but I'm curious about this.
So I'm kind of, I guess I'm kind of a downer on the subject because
You're allowed to be.
It's obviously very hard. Like, you have to have that 1 in a million shot. Because there's plenty of musicians, and I have people on my show every single week that are great musicians, good songwriters, and I mean, they even have good recordings too. And like, they're just like me on Spotify, trying to get as many people to listen as possible, and they're not making any money on that. And then, with touring today, and the fact that it's basically a passion project. Like, you can't really make money unless you are that 1 in a million. And with less and less people taking the chance, I mean, are you going to actually are those people going to be found?
Yeah.
I think it's hard in this economy to be a touring rock band and to be to have that be an income stream at all, especially after streaming and the way, like I said, it's a struggle for our generation to do things like buy houses and things like that, let alone go on tour and finance records and things.
Or do both things.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely, or do both. Right.
You know, like I have a day job. Music does not make any money for me at all.
I don't know anyone in rock and roll that makes money.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know anyone personally in rock and roll that makes money.
It's true.
Right? I know people who are studio musicians, that are jazz musicians and classical musicians. I don't know anyone in rock and roll who can claim part of their income comes from being in a band. It's a passion project. You got to love it.
Most definitely not playing in a band, but I think the few people who are making money are like people who are mixing, mastering, and doing the rock band's recordings for them. They're making killings because it costs a fortune to record a record. You know how hard it is to record a drum set? I mean, we have an engineer in the room. Yes, we know how hard it is to record a drum set. It's ridiculous. You got 12 mics. They're all phasing out everywhere, and then there's wash here and this and that. Like, it's insane. So I understand why it does cost a lot of money. There's a very fine skill needed there. But one of my questions I often ask is, how do you balance income and being an artist? Which I guess you just don't. It seems like you're like, I'm going to do this because I love it. I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to, make my income elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean that's how I am, at least. Like I know that there's a very slim chance that I'm going to make any money on anything, and when we go play a show, I'm just happy to get, I don't know, if we got $50 back, pay for the toll and the gas money. I'm happy with that.
Right.
And with like people coming to my house, like it's free, like we work, and then I edit those videos and post them, and that's all free work. I don't get any money from that because everything just goes back to equipment. And when we, like the equipment that I do have, like this amp and this amp here and stuff like that, I know that I'm not going to get anything back on that. That's just the enjoyment of it. I know that like I've seen this video that goes around where a guy talks about how there's no money in making an album, and that local bands shouldn't make an album because it's not profitable. But I feel that when you're making an album, it's not necessarily to make money on it because you're in the wrong business, if that's the case. It should be because you want that music to be recorded and remembered, and for you to enjoy it,
to be available.
Yeah,
it is the physical work of art.
I just have a hard time being out. It's like, well, it's an expensive hobby. It becomes.
That's true.
Have you guys ever? You have an engineer in the room. Do you guys record your own stuff, or do you go to a studio?
To the point of release. I think the farthest we've ever gone with that is our cover of "You Got a Friend in Me" that we play at the end of the show every week.
Yeah, you're right. We did. We recorded that right in here.
That was recorded in this living room.
Well, maybe the future. Sorry, go ahead.
I think we used. Did we use OBS to record that?
I don't think we used it to record it. No,
we used like some
the video software. We did not
video
use
software that was, that could record audio. That's how we
used audio software to mix it and stuff later, but we recorded it on video software.
Right on. Would you guys like to play a primitive song for us and introduce a song to us? If I give you guys the full screen here, are you prepared to throw the reverb on and play a little tunage?
I just, Nat, did we want to play the Harvey and the Henderson song first or the primitive song? Yeah, I think we're going to play the Harvey and the Henderson song first.
Cool.
That's cool.
Sounds great to me, man. I'm going to throw it over to the performance screen here, and you guys get yourself set up and take it away whenever you are ready over there.
All right, cool.
Through the eyes of the jaded, through the eyes of the old, just want some perspective, baby, and blood from a stone. All the answers are questions, maybe. How much and how long? How much to make you stay? How long is it fun? I wanna know how far I've come. Drink the bottle. bottle till it's gone. And I wish I was with you. Or am I just wasting time? To the eyes of the faded, must be getting old. Still waiting on that good time, baby. Sitting here all alone. All the answers are questions, maybe. How much and how long? How much to make you stay here? How long is it fun? I wanna know how far I've come. Drink the bottle till it's gone. And I wish I was with you. Or am I just wasting time? The eyes of the faded must be getting old. Still waiting on that good time, baby. Sitting here all alone. All the answers you got won't save me unless I get gone. How much to make you stay here? How long is it fun? I wanna know how far I've come. Drink the bottle till it's gone. And I wish I was with you. Or am I just wasting time?
Boys, that's what we call rock and roll. Not much of that left going on out here, but that is definitely what we call rock and roll right there. Well done, fellas.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed the name of the tune because I was doing some computer stuff over here trying to get that all going. What was the name of that song again?
So that song is called How Long?
How long? And can we find that on streaming platforms? Has that been recorded, or is that just exclusively live?
Actually, it's exclusively live. I think there might be a version of us playing it on our YouTube channel.
Right on.
Possibly, or our Facebook.
Yeah.
Through the link tree? That's
yeah,
in the link tree?
Yeah, you can find our YouTube through the link tree.
Right on. So I have to ask you, what is your goal with Harvey's House and the whole digital venue? Is it just to just keep putting on shows once a week? Do you want to grow this thing? Do you want to make it something? What is the goal?
So it would be nice if we could start generating money from it. If we could actually have touring acts come through and pay them to play. But currently, we're just working up to that. We're enjoying having having bands come through, meeting new people, and kind of almost like servicing the community in a way. I kind of have the idea that I hope if I'm showing this kind of generosity and support for the scene, that they will in turn do that for me, because that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Sure, it's I definitely think that we want to get to a point where people want to come here when they come through this area. So if they're coming through Philadelphia or they're coming through South Jersey, they know about it in order to come and play. But I think for us, it's as much an opportunity to expand our network and make friends in the community that without it, we might not be able to.
Yeah. And honestly, like, we're talking about how hard it is to make $1 in this industry. It's like, this seems like a really great way to, like you said, pay it forward to other musicians. That's what I'm trying to do too. Is like, I think that if I can just make good content, whether it's a podcast with you guys who can't be in this room, or whether it's someone having a session here in this room, and just continue to put out that content, like, the following will come because I'm just trying to help others. I'm just trying to put out content of other songwriters that are great on my channel. And like, I feel like that's where you're sitting with all of this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Giving us an outlet for you, and then you get content for yourself, and people that are interested in us see you, and that's kind of like, that's the good thing about Twitch. I mean, that's kind of what's going on all the time.
Yeah, of course.
People are helping each other on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes down to like the raids and the communities, and the music community is super tight over there. It's really kind of great once you get involved in it. It's tough though, because you do need to sort of be on there all the time and chatting and meeting new people, and there's a lot of streamers. So how do you guys find new streamers? How do you are you looking on there often, or how's that go for you?
So I kind of go in spurts where sometimes I'm looking, I'm doing stuff in the house and I'm just like looking for something to put on, and I just put on a different stream just to see if I like it and if I want to raid them and stuff. And then there are other times when I'm just busy. I also have, we have 2 bands. We have projects with that. We have projects with other people, or like if we're playing a show and joining a band or something like that. So like I also race cars. So I have a lot of stuff going on. So sometimes I don't find time to actually find new streamers, but I try to raid the people like yourself that contribute to our stream as well.
Yeah, I mean, I often haven't had, I think we've rated you before, but we often don't have, I'm not usually ending when you're playing, like just schedules don't line up, and it always is very nice when you do happen to come through. Can I ask you, Nat, how does it feel being the guy behind, no name and no voice? You're just behind there doing all the mixing and all the dirty work. How's that feel?
Well, it wasn't always like that. I'm in the basement now because it actually makes my job easier. Like I can do a better job now. But it is kind of a bummer to be away from the conversation, and I do miss that.
Yeah.
Because that was a regular part of the show for up until 2 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, for a long time it was me, Nat, and Jake, my former roommate. He would produce the show, and we would play on the show, or we would be up here all together. So like the banter and stuff like that was great. It's a little tough with now that we moved the mixer. We got like a long snake so that we could move the mixer into the garage, and Nat's just relegated to the
Now I
man
have an
behind the
office.
speaker.
Nice. Yeah, you got an office. Amazing. That's great, man. Well, we appreciate everyone behind the scenes. I always try to make sure that when I'm at a show that I say thank you to the sound man. If I have one, generally I don't. I'm my own sound man. But if I do, if I'm playing at a venue that I'm getting mixed by. So I just want to say thanks to you, Nat, for being the sound man for all the bands that have come through there. And you made them sound better than, better than they actually were. That's what the engineer's job is.
Yeah, sometimes I do all right.
He's humble, too. So if you guys, so success for you would be maybe making this venue into something that could actually pay the Harvey's house mortgage.
That would be excellent.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Wayne's World?
I sure have.
I think we're going for Wayne's World.
Okay,
right?
that
Yeah,
makes
yeah, I
Be
guess
sponsored
that's
by
true.
the local arcade, and have it so we don't have to move the furniture anymore. Rebuild this in a studio.
Dude, that would be
Take the
super
weight off
rad.
our shoulders and get a paycheck. That's the goal.
That's
I
amazing.
wouldn't mind having a dining room again.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're looking at my living room too. The same thing happened in the bunker. That's why I'm so. I'm really glad to have you guys on, and I hope that I can get this out to as many people as possible because you're doing exactly what I would love to do. And if I was in your community, I'd be hanging out there all the time. And if I lived close by, I'd be coming by and hanging and doing the things. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing there. And yeah, success is a tough thing to reach, but if you have realistic goals and just keep firing away at it, I think you guys could get there because you're doing, like you said, the positive vibe thing, man, and the karma will come back to you at some point. You just keep firing away there. I promise you.
Thank you.
You have a different band that you play in together, Primitives. So how do those projects how would you say those projects differ sonically?
So I'd say like the simplest version of that is that Harvey and the Hendersons is a little more rock and roll, and I'd say that Primitives has a little more punk and metal vibes to it.
Okay.
Currently with adding Nat to the band, it's they're coming a little closer together, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
But that's definitely the bigger difference. And in Primitives, our guitar player Kyle, he also writes and sings.
I say Primitives is a double frontman band,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting.
Very cool, yeah.
It certainly separates it from Harvey and the Hendersons, where you're the frontman.
Correct. Yeah, that's definitely like probably the biggest difference there.
Right on.
And also where some of like the punk vibes come from, because Kyle writes
Absolutely,
more punky
yeah.
songs than I do.
Yeah, well, it's cool that when you get with different people, you can like Nat has interjected, whatever punk vibe or a rock vibe in, and then that other singer also interjects, and then now the projects have morphed to their own little things. So that's why I was curious to ask. And so when you're gonna play a Primitive song for us next, I was just curious, is it like sort of like is it harder or softer? That's what was my main question.
Okay, so this one is definitely harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the band overall
Yeah, I would
harder,
say-
would you say?
Oh, yeah.
Heavier
Definitely,
rock. Yeah. Okay, well,
Yes, it's definitely going to be a heavy rock song.
right on. And can we get Primitive stuff anywhere recorded just yet, or is this exclusive here to the streams?
So this song in particular is brand new. This will be only the second time we perform it
Right.
for
Oh,
anyone,
amazing.
and but you can find Primitives on Spotify. You just have to spell it the way we spell it, so it's spelled Primatives. And you can also find Primitives NJ, as in New Jersey, on like Facebook and Instagram and that stuff. That's where you can find that.
Cool. And through your link tree, will there be links to both projects there, or is that all exclusively Harvey's House stuff?
That's exclusively Harvey's
Okay,
House
so
stuff.
I will get you when we're done this show to send me links to the other stuff, and I'll make sure that they're all in the YouTube description, so everyone will be able to watch this on YouTube. Just click into the description. There'll be links to all the bands and Harvey's House as well. Right now in the Twitch chat, unfortunately, I didn't have those available, but we do have a link to all the Harvey's House stuff, so it's more important that you go follow there.
Yeah.
And anyone who's watching here on Twitch from that community, thank you for being here today. Why don't you guys get yourself ready and play this brand new Primitive song. I'm looking forward to it, and I will hand you over to the full screen one
All
more
right, cool.
time. All right, thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
Don't know what to do with all of you, but I'm doing alright. And y'all trying to save face, and I'm living for today. Won't be losing my mind through these clouds of a paradise. And you say that it's all for me, and you do what you want. No escaping the rain with your eyes on the shade. Don't know what to do with all of you, but I'm living my way. I could give you the sunshine, I could give you the light, I could give you the world, to the crowds of a paradise. And you say that it's all for me, and you do what you want. Take a look, tell me what you see. The walls are closing in. Don't you wait, closer they get. There's no moment like the last. Give me your word worth its weight in gold. Decisions veiled in the light. Large green trees erase the view through the clouds of a paradise. Taking my time, and I'm doing just fine. Don't know what to do with all of you, but I'm doing alright. I could give you the sunshine, I could give you the light, I could give you the world, till the clouds of a paradise. And you say that it's all for me, and you do what you want.
Dudes, once again, rock and roll to the core. They just gonna grab their ears so they can hear me. They can't hear me right now, but man, love the guitar arrangements there. The voice is out of this world, dude. The guitar arrangements on that are amazing, and it takes it takes a long time to make two guitars sing together like that, and your vocals are freaking out of this world, dude. They are so good.
Thanks, Kev.
Multiple comments.
I really appreciate that.
Multiple comments in the live stream about how great your voice is, and I have to say, like, the guitar arrangements are just out of this world as well. Like, that's not easy to do that, to make them dance back and forth like that. So well done, fellas.
Thanks. That's a lot of work on Nat's part.
Yeah, it's hard to do that, guys.
Because he's the bass player.
Okay.
So
I play bass in that.
a lot of those parts he was playing are partly on bass, and a lot of them he figured out before this performance. So
yeah, it's a certain amount of it is like, well, that's not interesting to do. There's usually another guitar player, and I don't know his parts.
Yeah.
No, it sounded great. Everything was great there. That was awesome.
Thank you.
So usually at the end we have two of you guys. So this is going to take a little bit longer, but we're going to be able to build our own dream tour right now. And I'm interested in this because I'm probably not going to get some bands that I know of or have heard much of or I'm very familiar with. But if you guys were each to pick a band to tour with, one dead or one alive, it could be any artist. One dead, one alive, each of you. So we need 4 from you because we have 2 of you over there. There are no stipulations. It's your world. Who are you going on tour with? You guys get to build your little bill here.
All right, so four bands. Let's do this together. 4 bands, dead or alive. You pick 2, I pick 2.
Okay.
I feel like you probably know at least one of the bands I'm going to pick.
Yeah, for sure, and I can back that band.
Okay, so I'll go 1, you go 1.
All right.
So Queens of the Stone Age is definitely they're my favorite band. I love everything they do, so I would have to have them on tour.
Cool.
And I watched your other YouTube videos, and I'm just going to make this clear: we are headlining.
Okay.
They are playing under us.
It's your world, baby. Let's go.
All right,
I would have to go with Muse. They're a band that I've seen literally 24 times. Even when they put out so-so records, their live shows are always absolutely incredible. So that's a band that I would kill to be on tour with for sure.
Okay, cool.
And I'd happily open for them.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'd happily open for any of these bands, but it's our world, man.
It is.
So this one, I just want to give my close third real quick. Between the Buried and Me would be my close third. I don't know if you've heard of them before, but they're like a technical prog death metal band, like. They're called Between the Buried and Me.
Okay.
But for this particular event, I'd have to pick Rush.
Okay. Okay. So,
All right.
so that was an honorable mention. The other prog metal band.
Yes, Between the
Honorable
Buried
mention.
and Me is definitely an honorable mention, but Rush has to be on there. Your
Okay.
Canadian fellow friends.
Cool. Rock and roll. All right, Nat, we're on to you, man.
Since you went that way, I'll do my honorable mention, and I'll say Pink Floyd only as an honorable mention because I just can't imagine that ever happening, even if we were all alive together. I will say though, Black Sabbath I could see for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would fit with you guys really well,
Work
actually.
well together, absolutely. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're one of my both of those are one of my biggest influences. So.
That's original punk rock right there, man.
For sure.
Or metal, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they were, but they sprouted a heck of a lot of what you guys do, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's recap that. Can you recap that for me, all 4 of them for me? So we have, hold on, it was
So we have Queens
Queens of
of the
Stone
Stone Age,
Muse,
Muse, Rush,
and
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. I'd go to that show.
Yeah.
You don't
I would totally go to that
You don't
show.
have to twist my arm. And then, so now I'm going to make you pick. Is it going to be Harry, or is it going to be Harvey and the Hendersons, or is it going to be Primitives on this tour with them? Ooh. Now you got to pick between your children.
I mean, I kind of think it's got to be Primitives, especially because that's more of a fully formed band right now.
That's fair. Harvey and the Hendersons doesn't really have a rhythm section. If it did, it would be a much closer race, though.
Yes,
Yeah?
I agree
Okay.
with that.
Right?
Okay.
Where I could totally see like the punk stuff of Primitives rubbing Rush the wrong way.
Oh, those math rock guys. Oh, they're so stuck up. Okay, boys. I'm going to ask you to pick a left or a right. Left or right?
Right.
Okay, so in my right hand, I have your fortune for today. We do a fortune at the end. Well, I'm starting to do fortune because, I don't know why. Because
that.
I keep all these fortunes. I have I have all of these. You can't see them. The podcast can see them. I have all these fortunes that I've saved from fortune cookies because they're great for songwriting ideas. So, you will make many changes before settling down happily. So maybe this isn't the final iteration of Harvey's House. Maybe it's going to be the next CBGBs.
Yeah, right.
A little dark there, Kev. Damn.
You guys are. Hey, I didn't do it. That was your fortune.
Why couldn't we get You're Hungry? Order more Chinese food.
Yeah.
Looks like Kev has ordered a lot of Chinese food.
Well, when it's Mom's birthday, my mom likes to order Chinese food because she doesn't want to do any cooking. It's easy. It's simple. We can get a lot of stuff. So then all of a sudden, a giant bag full of fortune cookies comes, and I'm like, "Give me those things." And I sneak out the back door.
Because they
with
give
those.
you like 10.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then if you order for a family of 6 or 12, however many is at the event that we're having, then the cookies are out the wazoo, and I'm like, I'll take all of them. And I do enjoy them, but I also like the fact that if I am stuck, or I can pull one of those out for inspiration of any song at any time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What I read to you guys could be very ominous. And it could be an ominous song,
Maybe it just means that Nat is going to buy a house and we'll film it in his house instead of mine.
Well, then we'd have to change the name. We got to change the name. Then it's Nat's house.
I thought it's
doesn't have the same ring to it.
It doesn't, and I really don't want this shit in my house all the time. Actually, I would, just not in the living room. Not in the living room. Nice finished basement. Go for it.
Right on.
Living room, nah, man.
Well, boys, I do have to wrap this up because I have other things to get to, unfortunately, but I really appreciate you guys coming on. I really appreciate you sitting down and doing this with me today. I know it's not exactly what you're always doing over there at Harvey's House, but I'll make sure that we push as many people to your Twitch channel as we can. All of the links for the music will be in the description, and your link tree, of course, is available for everybody right now. But thank you guys so much. I'm going to let you have your evening, and we'll stay in touch. And maybe one day if I'm passing through as a touring musician, I might be able to pop into Harvey's House and play. And likewise goes if you ever happen to make it north of the border here. There's always a place for you here. So,
thanks, Kev. Thank you very much for having us on.
Yeah,
cool.
Thanks, Kev.
And can I give you one Canadian recommendation that you may or may not already know, who is my favorite Canadian musician of all time, probably my favorite. He's the best rock star ever to come out of Canada. His name's Ian Thornley. He has a band called Big Wreck. Are you familiar?
I am not, no.
Okay, so this is homework. I really implore you guys to please go watch a few of... He's sponsored by Sir Guitars, so you can go watch some of his sessions at the Sir Factory Outlet, and I think what you guys do and kind of what he does is similar-ish, and I think you would really enjoy him. And he's a very unknown Canadian compared to, I guess, Drake, but he is honestly the best musician out of this world. Out of this part of the country.
Even better than Drake?
Yeah, he's... Let's not go there. Let's not go there. YouTube will pull this video down for sure if we say anything bad about Drake. Okay, boys, you have a good night and stay in touch. And Harvey's House, I wish all the best for you. I hope you guys honestly become digital CBGBs where all the punk rock bands come to play. And whether that's actually at your house or if Harvey's House moves to another venue, a barn, a garage or something, I really wish that for you guys. And it's going to happen, and just keep it up. And your community's all hanging out in chat today, and I thank you guys all for being here in chat. And I will be through to raid you guys as soon as I possibly can work the timing out, all right?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much for being here. Take care.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
Later. Holy guacamole, everyone. We did it. Harvey's House. throwing together an extra a little stream there setup that is not regular. They always have bands in there, guys. Full bands are hanging out in there playing original sets. So please go check out Harvey's House on Twitch. All of the links are in the bio or in the description below. I want to thank you guys for watching here. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do this live on Twitch with a lot of other Twitch streamers, so you can come over and check it live if you want. If you're watching this on Twitch right now, you can definitely go over to my YouTube channel and you can hit the like and subscribe because it supports Harvey. It pushes their video up and more people can recognize their digital venue and all of their music projects and all of the rest of it. So show some love over there. I thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with me through this journey. I'm just learning how to do this and things are getting a little bit better, less tech issues. Still have a few little tech things that I'm trying to iron out. I hope you guys are enjoying the live sessions that are going on over here in the bunker. I keep trying to put those out as much as often as I can, and we're looking for artists to come through. So if you want to comment below or go into our Discord and let us know some artists that you'd like us to either interview or have come through the bunker, I'm always open to suggestions. So thank you guys very much for being here. Until I do this next time, I'm going to hand it over to my moderators if there's any here, and if not, I'm going to raid somebody. We're going to raid another musician, and until next time, please guys, keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise. All right, thank you.